Alright. Alright. Let's see what we can see. Let's turn this up here. Alright. I turned Al's tank down a little bit to be a little quieter for this run. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator. And your host, Smiley Bill. We're here to drive. And listen to Knowledge Fight. That's what we do. We drive trucks and listen to podcasts. If anyone's wondering, I have emailed Knowledge Fight to ask them if this is okay. And they have not replied. So, I'm going to assume silence is a yes. Until they tell me otherwise. Haha, yeah! Let's go.
Knowledge Fight. Dan and Jordan, I am sweating. KnowledgeFight.com. It's time to pray.
I have great respect for Knowledge Fight.
Knowledge Fight. I'm sick of them posing as if they're the good guys, saying we are the bad guys. Knowledge Fight.
Dan and Jordan.
Knowledge Fight.
Red alert, red alert, red alert.
Need money.
Andy in Kansas. Andy.
Stop it. Andy in Kansas.
It's time to pray.
Andy in Kansas, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hello, Alex. I'm a first-time caller. I'm a huge fan. I love your work.
Knowledge Fight.
KnowledgeFight.com. I love you.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Knowledge Fight. I'm Dad.
I'm Jordan.
We're a couple dudes like to sit around, worship at the altar of Selene, and talk a little bit about Alex Jones.
Oh, indeed we are. Dan.
Jordan. Jordan.
Quick question for you.
What's up?
What's your bright spot today, buddy?
My bright spot today, Jordan, is over the course of this podcast, I think that there has been a robust debate over who will win out, who will end up influencing the other. Will it be me and my sort of stoic, let's think about things? Will that win over you? Or will your emotional react in the moment end up winning over me? Who will be drawn to whose side? And I'm here to announce that I think that you
Time to
won.
hit the road.
Not because I'm emotionally reacting, but because I bought headbands. I've become part of the headband nation.
I mean, I don't know what to tell
Team
you.
headband.
They just make sense. They just do.
I only wear them when I'm exercising, though,
Yeah.
because of keeping sweat out of my face.
Sure.
But it is effective for that.
And
I feel silly, and I apologize for mocking you privately and publicly.
I understand. I get it. We all have to grow and change in our own way. It makes sense.
You know, you stood strong by your headband passion, and I think I took some inspiration from that allowed me to put on the headband.
I think for as much as people want to describe perhaps that as our dynamic, I think one thing that is left out is occasionally my stubbornness is simply unmovable.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is one of those cases, and then I've adopted it.
Yeah, why not?
So what's your bright spot?
My bright spot is the Olympics.
Sure.
They're fun.
Yeah.
They're going great.
Opening ceremony was on Friday.
Absolutely. I liked that guy parkoured. That was great.
Yeah.
Parkour
Get
across
ready
the
to
rooftops.
turn left.
I heard a little bit about this.
Get that parkour.
My friend Angela Lampsbury was texting me about
Turn left.
there being minions.
There were minions. I did not know that.
I saw a screenshot of some minions.
Interesting. All right.
And the Assassin's Creed person is how it was described to me.
Yeah. It looked
Jumping
very
from buildings.
Assassin's Creed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it because my wife has a weird relationship with sports. Not interested. Olympics, massively interested. doesn't matter what sport.
Yeah, I think that the brand is strong.
There's something about it where we're watching handball, and instantly that's another great part of the Olympics. In about 2 plays, she's like, "That's not how you call that, ref," and you're like, "Yeah, I totally
I'm
get
a
it."
fucking
Totally
handball
get it.
fan from way back.
100%
I know
expert.
I know all the details.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a foul. You stepped over the line.
This is going to be an international scandal.
Yep.
Undoubtedly.
Absolutely.
A handball scandal of
Absolutely.
2024.
And then this year's fantastic because there's Olympic tennis. It's in Paris. Guess what that means? Roland Garros.
Right.
Court Philippe Chartrier.
Rafa.
Finding a new
And
route.
he just won his match.
Nice.
That was great. But he and Carlos Alcaraz, 2 Spanish players,
Keep
one the greatest
and
that
then
ever
turn left.
played,
Right.
and then the second one about to be the greatest that ever
Right.
played.
Young up and comer.
Yep. If them playing doubles hits you in the daddy issues so hard, you can
Turn
feel
left.
Rafa being so proud and him being like nervous because this is a legend. But seriously, it is cute as shit.
Oh.
And there was one moment where they hit a great point, and then in
hour
unison,
just to go pick this one
simultaneously,
up.
they both did
Shit.
the same like arm pump celebration. They get down on one knee and then it was fucking crazy.
That's sweet.
It was crazy. Yeah.
There was a really brief window where I heard the Olympics were coming up.
Yeah.
And I told myself, all right, I'm going to become an Olympics guy.
Really?
I kind of told myself, like, all right, I mean, there's streaming.
Totally. You can find it anywhere.
I'm going to watch everything.
You can watch a lot.
Yeah, you can't watch everything physically, I don't
No.
think. But also, like, I don't know. The idea of doing that sounded fun. And then I watched a little bit of, like, some swimming.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and watch this all day, but that's nice. I'm glad for these people.
I find it so weird
damn.
that there are so many sports that they'll like cut to in like small screen. Like we're waiting around for a 45-second swimming race where it's like I understand they're going to swim one side or the other. And then they'll suddenly show like, oh, here's archery, judo, nonstop action. This one's
Get
a
ready to turn
skateboarding
right.
thing. And you're like, show me that stuff!
Yeah. I did notice when I was watching, this is my only observation about the Olympics.
Turn right.
They were swimming, and it told you how fast they were swimming.
That's nice.
Behind them.
That's cool.
I remember when I was a kid, there was a huge deal that they innovated on television how to like highlight the puck in hockey.
Yeah,
so you could keep track of where it was going.
Get ready to turn
Because we
left.
didn't have high definition. We just
Yeah.
had blurry. Yeah.
And this is how that felt. I turned it on. I'm like, oh, that person's going 26.4 meters per second.
Turn
That's pretty
left.
fast.
That's pretty fucking fast. Yeah.
Unnecessary information, but thank you.
Yeah, yeah. It reminds me of the new thing in baseball is they'll show you how hard the ball was hit,
outside at
and it's like, oh, that was
Waffletopia
118 miles an hour. You're like, I understand it's cool to know the exact number, but you have essentially told me, and I think you need to understand this. He really hit the shit out of that ball.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did not need your assistance.
If you could,
I heard it.
If you could give me some kind of other context for it, like this
Yeah.
is a textbook dropping on the ground.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah,
hard
totally,
he hit it.
totally, yeah.
Or you know, a mousetrap slamming shut. That's the force that he.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's more like, yeah, it feels like 120 outside. Thank you. I don't care that it's 95.
Right.
It's worse than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your job is to paint a word picture.
Great.
So today we're going to paint a word picture about Alex Jones's dumbass.
Great transition.
Thanks. This episode's stupid. It sucks. I don't know. I just kept thinking this is stupid while I
Yeah.
was listening to it.
I kept thinking
In
this
a couple of interesting ways.
Yeah.
And then the
Rerouting.
last
Oh, no,
clip
at the
that
wrong
we have
exit.
today. I don't want to oversell this.
Sure.
I don't want to tease this. It's not the best thing I've ever heard.
Sure.
But it
Bad
is
name of
definitely something I have
minimizing.
never heard Alex say on his show.
Okay.
Sometimes
So-
just can't
All
see
right.
it.
I'm
For
interested.
better or worse, there's at least something very new.
All these years and you can still surprise us.
Yeah. So we'll get down to business on this, but
I
first
keep left
let's
there.
take a little moment to say hello to some new walks.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
So first, I policy wonk you did there. Anyway, catch me and Norm Pattis's penis doing a show in Intercourse, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much, you're an policy wonk.
I'm a policy wonk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, happy birthday, Scruffy Corgi from Chunky Chipmunk. Thank you so much, you're an policy wonk.
I'm a policy wonk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, actual twins, Kyle and Kelsey. Thank you so much, you're an policy wonk.
I'm a policy wonk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Barbara
Keep
on the
right.
Big Island of Hawaii.
And then
Thank you so
exit
much, you're an
right.
policy wonk.
I'm a policy wonk.
Thank you very much.
The Big Island of Hawaii may factor into one of the stupid clips on today's show.
Exit
It's
right.
but not. the most populous island of Hawaii.
Well, Alex
largest
might have met
Well,
with
get
the
ready
chief,
to
and he
turn
talks a little
left.
bit more about that. So
that
that's
sounds
fun.
Great.
Anyway, we have a couple of technocrats in the mix, Jordan. So thank you so much to Alex. Stop acting like a bitch
Turn
already.
left.
Be a visionary, or you could see your name in the column of obituaries.
It's like 1, 2, 3. All right.
Most F and Alex Joe.
That doesn't rhyme.
Keep right. And then
thank you so
exit
much,
right.
Technocrat. And Team Terry, let's go. Thank you so
Exit
much,
right.
Renao Technocrat. And by special request, here is the Raptor Princess sound drop.
I'm a policy wonk.
4 stars. Go home to your mother and tell her you're brilliant.
I'll barbecue your ass.
It's over for humanity.
You're a beautiful soul. They're coming for your balls. Well, I piss all over your god. Very few people crap in the pool unless they're babies. I piss all over the state.
Make it a practice of calling people pieces of garbage.
When they are.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much.
So we start off here.
Comment
I
as
think I
you
might not
see
have said
fit.
what the episode is. I just said it's stupid.
It is stupid.
It's
So
Friday, July 26th.
okay.
Is what we're going to go over.
All right.
And this is after Benjamin Netanyahu has come and addressed Congress.
Right, a thing that sure, a massive thing that's going on that was like a 10th build on the insane news cycle
I
that we're
keep
on
left
right
there.
now.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
so that happened, and Alex, I was curious about what his take on this was,
Sure.
and it turns out, I don't know if you remember, 900 episodes ago on our
I
first
keep left
episode.
there.
He's the canary in the coal mine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once the deep state took out Netanyahu, it was time to pray.
Man, it's time to pray now.
Now it turns out Netanyahu is deep state as hell.
Oh God.
The globalists are doing everything they can to suppress the truth. And I'm talking about Netanyahu's comment to Congress about assassinating Trump and how Iran wants to assassinate Trump.
Hands free, baby.
And his full statement is
Not
extremely
even a
chilling.
Tesla truck.
And it's not like I'm saying this is chilling now. I said this in the days after Trump was shot, on the Saturday, the Sunday, the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday. I said they're going to try to frame Iran, and when they try to kill Trump again, they're going to say it was Iran with a truck bomb, or a hijacked plane, or a machine gun attack,
Or a poison.
suicide bomber attack.
Or a nuke.
And I said it probably about 50 times. And then they came out on Tuesday, 3 days after the attack, and said, oh, we think that Iran might be involved, but nobody bought it, so they pulled it back. That was the Pentagon and the State Department. And so now Netanyahu gets up there and says that you don't get any more deep state than
Keep right.
Netanyahu.
No
And then
more deep
exit
state
right.
than Netanyahu, apparently now.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Yep.
I don't know what we're doing.
Exit right.
This is a direct 180 from where we started
Yeah.
so many years ago. But who cares?
Sure.
It doesn't matter. All
At
this
the
is in Alex's
roundabout,
head.
take
Yeah.
the third
But
exit.
apparently, so in Pennsylvania at that rally,
Yeah.
there was an attempted assassination on Trump.
Uh-huh.
And a little bit after that, there were some headlines about how Iran had made a plan
Exit
to
now.
assassinate
Right.
Trump.
We had talked about how everybody had a plan.
Yeah. And largely, a lot of that had to do with like the killing of
At the
Soleimani
roundabout,
and
take
shit
the
like that.
first
No, it makes
exit.
sense.
Yeah, and so Alex has decided that the
Exit
discussion
now.
of the Iranian plan was
Keep left.
them trying
And
to
then
blame
turn left.
Iran for the shooting at the Pennsylvania rally, or in theory to set them up to blame for the next time
Turn
they
left.
tried to kill
Right.
Trump.
Yeah.
And now Netanyahu came to Congress and he referenced that Iran had plans to try to kill Trump.
Right.
And so, holy shit.
I mean, okay. I feel like we need to get across this hump as a people of like, if you kill a guy, it makes total sense for them to be like, well, we're gonna get you back, right? I'm not saying they're going to do it.
Go straight
but
on.
I'm not saying
America,
they should,
or they
but-
should,
but
but,
it makes
you're
sense.
gonna have a thing,
Yeah.
you know. And America killed plenty of guys everywhere.
Dark clouds
I am
rolling.
shocked that more people aren't like constantly trying to assassinate everybody.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
It's like-
You would expect that if you took out a leader of another government,
Yeah.
that they would want to.
They got a plan at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. You earned it.
It's not the most shocking thing in the world.
No.
But also, obviously, Netanyahu is trying to make his enemies America's enemies.
Yeah.
And so, you know,
Get ready to
bonding
turn right.
over this shared distrust or you know, whatever towards
Sure.
Iran is in his best interest. So he makes passing reference to that plan, not in context of the Pennsylvania
Turn
attack or
right.
anything like that, but he made that contact in the speech.
This is where it ends,
And so
sugar.
Alex has decided this is deep state messaging. And there's going to be quite a false flag
Sure.
that ends up happening soon.
Okay.
Netanyahu gets up in front of Congress yesterday, and he says, quote, if they do assassinate President Trump, meaning Iran, which is always a possibility, I hope that America obliterates Iran, wipes it off the face of the earth. If that does not happen, American leaders will be considered gutless cowards. Now, that's
Join the
called
club.
pre-programming right there. He's been saying
There we
for
are. I see it
21
back
years that Iran is 2 weeks away from a nuke.
There we are.
He said it again last week, and so did Blinken, the Secretary of State.
Lincoln.
So Netanyahu is a top globalist operative,
Almost.
and when they stole the elections from Trump 3.5, 4 years ago, Trump begged him for support, and he wouldn't even return his phone calls. Oh, what a good buddy BB is. So, whether Israel is going to use its considerable intelligence network in the U.S. under his control to kill Trump and blame it on Iran, or whether he knows that there are plots to kill Trump and blame Iran, which there
I
are.
can grab this
I first
one.
exposed it. I know the enemy mind. It's all I do.
Ready to
Whether
roll?
Israel's going to do
Really
it, or whether
close.
he knows the deep state's about to do it. I said it last week. They can say Iran hijacks a passenger plane or private plane with explosives on it, either or, flies into Mar-a-Lago or into a Trump event, or they roll a truck bomb in and say Iran
Truck
did it,
bomb.
or they send in a group of, quote, commandos or something. It's all on the table. And then Trump's dead, and oh my God, Kamala Harris is on TV saying we're now going to strike Iran, and you hear the
Okay,
nukes have gone
here we
off in
go.
Tehran, and then the average American will say, well, we better get behind this because America's at war. And then you've got the hundreds of thousands of Hezbollah and Hamas fighters that Iran actually brought in, that the globalists actually let in, who will then, when Iran is hit, they will then attack targets all over the United States, hundreds of them, if not thousands of them. There'll be hundreds of attacks.
Wow.
And we're into total martial law. Internet kill switch is put in.
Finally.
You only get government messages,
Turn right.
and the ensuing fog
Talking
of war.
about this for 20 years now.
The
Do
entire
it finally.
Trump
Jesus.
resistance leadership is taken out.
So this is what we have to look forward to in the near future.
Okay.
They'll kill Trump.
Sure.
Whether it be by Israeli intelligence,
Sure.
and then they'll set up Iran, or maybe they'll just let Iran do it because they want to do it. So
Okay.
then they'll kill Trump. Kamala Harris will come on TV,
Okay.
blame Iran,
Iran.
nuke Tehran.
Nuke Tehran.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in
Okay.
response, the Iranian sleeper cells, the Hezbollah folks in America, will attack everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Here's the thing about assassinations, I feel like. All right? If you're an assassinating kind of cat, you
Get ready
can't
to turn
bomb
right.
people. Know what I'm saying? If it's a one-to-one thing, then you can't kill a bunch of people. So I'm going to throw this out there.
Turn right.
I think if you nuke Tehran, you're going to wind up killing a lot of people who had no idea that there was an assassination plot at all.
Sure.
You know, I think that's probably a bad idea. If you
Be a
want to
terrible
assassinate,
idea.
if you want to assassinate, that's fine, but you got to go one for one.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is an interesting story that Alex is laying out, but
Yeah.
it's mostly just kind of in his head.
Get ready
Yeah.
to turn right.
But also, very importantly, he said that he was quoting
Turn right.
Netanyahu there at the beginning.
Yeah.
You heard him say quote.
He did say quote.
But that shit does not appear in the transcript of Netanyahu's speech before
Doesn't
Congress.
seem surprising.
Alex is actually reading a post Trump made on Truth Social, where he said that if Iran assassinates him, he hopes that America, they quote, wipe off the face of the earth. They wipe Iran off the face of the earth. And if that does not happen, American leaders will be considered gutless cowards.
Wait,
This is Trump.
Hold on.
Alex is saying that
Hold
Netanyahu
on.
said that in Congress.
Hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
The former president was like, hey, if Iran kills me, I hope you blow up the whole fucking country.
That was what Trump said, not Netanyahu.
Oh man, we gotta do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We gotta do
At
a
the
lot of stuff,
roundabout,
but wherever
take the
we are
second
now, it's
exit.
just gotta go back.
So I said this episode's really stupid.
Yeah.
And part of the reason is because Alex is complaining about Netanyahu saying
Exit
these words
now.
because they're essentially like saber rattling and trying to
Right.
program for a war with Iran.
Sure.
But in the real world, Trump said them.
Yeah.
So
At the
shouldn't the
roundabout,
same
take the
criticism
first
that's
exit.
being applied to Netanyahu?
He only said him because Netanyahu told him to say him.
Exit
He's a
now.
bad friend. Netanyahu didn't call him during the tough times.
Netanyahu's a bad friend, but you still gotta listen to politics sometimes.
I just find that I was listening to this and I'm like, you're reading a Trump post and claiming that it is a top globalist who is saying this in order to precipitate the assassination of Trump, which would lead to nuclear war with Iran and sleeper cells blowing up America from
Yeah.
within.
I gotta
Yeah.
get
It's
home
just
for
like,
my
this is
pie.
stupid.
Please
This is
make
stupid
a
shit.
U-turn when
You're basing this on
possible.
an entirely false premise. And everything that grows out of it is dumb.
Yeah, but for the longest time, I was super annoyed whenever people reference 1984 to describe our current dystopia. That is nailing it. 1984 is exactly what you should be using to describe that.
So it just goes on. Alex is pretending that this Truth Social post is actually from Netanyahu's speech.
Great.
Now, I said that like a parrot. As an emergency a beacon, probably, let's not exaggerate, 50 times.
You're plenty of gas.
In the days before they came out, the State Department, and the Pentagon, yeah, we think Iran might be involved or they've got a plot. This is so transparent. Well, then Netanyahu gets up and says in front of Congress that if Trump gets killed, it's probably Iran. And that we've got to immediately blow up Iran. And you're not a good patriotic American if you
Guy's
don't
such a dork.
support that. This is just insane. Insanely obvious.
So it's insanely obvious when you ascribe these words to Netanyahu in front of Congress, but is it insanely obvious if you think of them as something that Trump said on Truth Social? Because when does it become obvious, then?
All right.
What is it?
I think that this is obviously insane. I don't know about the rest of all these
At the
words, but
roundabout,
whatever's
take the
going on
second
right now,
exit.
that's fucking crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
It is because it's just like I don't know. It's like a snowball that started going down
Exit
the wrong
now.
hill,
Yeah.
and it's just
Can't go
building
back,
up.
yeah.
Just building up as it goes down the wrong hill. I was like, just ignore it. I guess.
What?
At the roundabout, take
Well,
the
I
second
guess that's
exit.
happening.
You're not gonna get a snowman out of this.
I do sometimes feel like the real world as it stands is everybody is kind of stuck in a molasses container, right?
Exit
But
now.
everybody else is just a cat knocking cookie jars off the counter onto the floor. And we're all just sitting there going like, don't, no, you can miss it, you can avoid it. Walk around, ka-chink, god damn it. And that's it.
Companies
That's our
worth
lives.
Well, I think
3.6 million.
The
I can
fundamental issue
afford
is
700.
that the globalists, they're evil and they're powerful,
Sure.
but they're dumb
That is an issue.
and they're incompetent, much like cats knocking stuff off the counter. You know, as Alex talks about that a little bit.
Makes sense.
So this is dangerous for everybody.
Everybody.
And if Israel thinks it can survive a nuclear war, or if the globalists think they can, they're foolish. And you see how much of what the New World Order tries to carry out, they mess up and screw up. So they've got the power, but they're incompetent. I mean, Chuck E. Schumer doesn't know how to cook a hamburger. These people are not builders. All these different globalists, Obama and the Bushes. Remember George Bush when he was president? Went into a grocery store checkout aisle 20 years after they had scanners and said, "What is that?" He hadn't been in a grocery store in decades, didn't know what a scanner was. And they're dangerous, and they'll get us all killed.
So in 1993, George H.W. Bush was given a tour of the National Grocers Convention, which was covered by one pool reporter named Greg McDonald. He wrote a 2-paragraph blurb about Bush's response to being shown new technologies in the grocery field, which was then editorialized on by all these other news outlets that weren't actually there.
Right.
Bush was being shown these new
I keep
innovations,
left
like a
there.
scanner that also had a scale built into it, and one that could read even broken barcodes.
Yeah.
And he expressed some amount of being impressed, which
Trying to
makes
get the
sense.
glare out
He
of
was
my
at a grocers
glasses
convention.
here,
It would be fucking rude to not be interested in what you're seeing.
In the
This
mid-90s.
without
I
my
keep
At
left
the
there.
time, the economy was in a bad place, so the media was very quick to tell stories that painted the president
Ooh,
as out of
still.
touch with the concerns of
my eyes
everyday
just
Americans,
break, everybody.
and the image of him never having been to a grocery store was almost too perfect for that.
That's true.
So that was the narrative that a lot of people ran with, despite it having no connection to what actually happened. And this is the story that Alex repeats.
I should probably get
Alex
an eye
pretends to be
test.
above the whole like media spin ecosystem, but he's actually kind of below it. You know, he's
I
not
can see
looking
that.
down like with some sort
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like,
yeah,
great.
yeah.
enlightened air.
Yeah.
He's
Can't see
I wish I
shit.
was as good at it as they are.
I can. It's just
he just
Just a little
picks and
blurry.
chooses whatever he wants
And-
that matches up with whatever
Yeah.
lore.
Yeah, it's always so
dumb.
weird.
Sharp.
It's always so weird whenever it's that type of thing where it's like, you don't need to make up
That's a tough
grocery
one to
store shit. It's
recognize,
George
man.
H.W. fucking Bush. He was the CIA director and a billionaire. He doesn't know what a grocery store looks like, but you don't need to make it up.
Well, yeah, and I like this
Why is this guy in the left
something that
What's
is
this guy doing?
like a touchstone
shithead.
of history that like
Yeah.
people remember this as like a media thing that happened.
Sure.
And part of the reason is because of it being unwound.
Right.
You know, people being like,
Yeah.
"That's not what happened."
Yeah.
It being like an attempt at characterizing Bush in this way
Sure.
that served the economic stories that wanted
Right.
to be told.
Right.
And the fact that Alex doesn't reckon with that, he doesn't wrestle with the fact that like, oh, you're just repeating misinformation
Yeah.
from 1993.
Yeah.
Is kind of silly. He should be way above that.
It is pretty silly. But then again, George W. Bush HW did throw up in the Japanese Prime Minister's lap.
That is true.
That's pretty great.
That happened at the other National Grocers
did.
Convention next year. So Alex, instead of sticking around in misinformation from the 90s, he continues with his own particular brand from the present.
They already got us in war with Russia. They're moving missiles up to the border, hypersonic missiles, nukes on them, up to the Russian border. This is madness, people. And then there is Netanyahu looking like the cat that ate the canary. Just totally enraptured in his chutzpah,
His chutzpah.
his bravado, his hubris, his arrogance,
Whoa, man.
saying,
Breaking up
boy, they killed Trump. Woo, I sure hope you guys
Keep
all blow
right,
Iran off
and
the
then
map.
exit right.
Exactly.
That is a big,
The
big,
thesaurus
big,
is-
big
Exit right.
red flag. And it sends chills up my spine.
Now I keep left there.
I don't know.
It's a Truth Social post.
I guess.
He spends a lot of time on this, and there's really nothing to say other than like, you're just reporting something wrong.
I mean, yeah.
Oh well. So one of the things that Alex seems really upset about as it relates to
Birds
Netanyahu,
up
I
there.
would say probably more than killing of civilians,
Sure.
Gaza,
Sure.
certainly, is a much bigger issue for Alex is that he's a bad friend to Trump. He's just not. He's not cool. He didn't reach out.
It is always fun whenever global relations are actually determined by catty idiots.
Yeah. Man, Trump needed a bro.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And I told you over
Relations
over
to say
I keep
and
left
over
there.
again.
I love it.
They were going to blame Iran when they killed Trump. Hell, I've been saying it for months. And I said they would blow Iran off the map within a day of Trump being killed. And then they come out and say, oh, yeah, we think it's Iran. Oh, yeah, we think they're going to do it again. Come on, people. And then Netanyahu gets up in our Congress in a joint session and says, when they kill Trump, we're going to blow Iran up. This is the guy that stabbed Trump in the back. And there's Elon Musk right there in the audience. Hey, Elon, you're smart.
Easy.
How would you feel if Netanyahu said, and if they killed Elon Musk, we blow up Iran?
Probably put some ears
What would
on.
you think when you read that? Your Trump rolled out the red carpet to Netanyahu, wouldn't even return his call.
Oh, no.
Netanyahu refused to support Trump during the election fight.
Yeah, because when you lose an election, you
refused
lose.
to return his phone call.
You hand over the reins of power
Netanyahu bets
peacefully.
on the power. He bets on the establishment. He bets on the system, like all these other scumbag politicians. He's not a friend when you're down.
And that's what you want in a world, dude.
And everybody should think about that. And think about the leader of Israel and what he did. Because this crossed the line with me.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
How stupid.
Fuck you. Fucking fuck you.
Get him, Jordan.
Fuck you.
Get him.
Fucking fuck that
Get
fucking shit.
It's a little stupid.
Fuck.
It's a little dumb.
Fucking hell.
A little stupid.
I don't even know other words right now. I just know fuck.
Hey, man, you know, like, when you're down, that's when you need someone to come.
I mean, sure.
And that's why I'm going to call Steve Pachenik right now and check in and make sure he's okay. That's why I'm gonna...
Oh, you got my hopes up.
No.
Oh, Stevie
just hanging out,
P.
Jimmy isn't a great friend.
We
either.
can only hope.
No, probably not a great friend.
Didn't even make a note of when Larry Nichols died.
Nope. Didn't say a word.
Bitches.
Didn't say a word.
So I find it troubling the way that Alex is taking this so seriously.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, the not calling Trump back. And then secondly, the Truth Social post that Trump made that Alex is ascribing to Netanyahu.
Yeah.
I do think that that's like way less important than other things that are happening in the world. And Alex is treating this as like the severest affront as opposed to, I don't know,
Yeah, I mean, you know, Trump got blanked, which I think we all know is a devastating social punishment. Sure, you know, but genocide, bummer.
Biden left him on, Netanyahu left him on red.
Oh my God.
So Alex starts talking about this meme that got put out by a group apparently called the Dali Meme Team. Bunch of Trump fans.
Okay.
So yeah, he found this meme and he really liked it. He wants to play it.
Keep
It's
right.
full of himself.
And then
And
exit
so he's
right.
going to get a cleaned up version of it to play. But then someone just plays it.
I
Exit
saw
right.
a piece put out called "We Built This Country" this morning. It's 3 minutes long, and I meant to post it on X.
Go straight on.
Rob did post
That's
this on
right.
X. And the fella at the Dilly meme team did a great job with what he said. And I understand he was trying to be populist, so every fifth word is a cuss word. Sometimes a
No
cuss
stop
too, so
sign
I'm
for
not
me, baby.
judging the person. It's just that it was very thought-provoking, and it's been said by Rush Limbaugh and myself and Alexander de Tocqueville 200-plus years ago, and George Washington 200-plus years ago, and Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson and
Now
Abraham
keep left
Lincoln
there.
and pretty much everybody else.
I'm sorry?
Paul Harvey.
Well, yeah.
But he did a good job in 3 minutes. Put it together. I had sent it to the crew to have it bleeped, but I guess that didn't happen. I get it, they're busy. Too much. I sent them too many clips, but I sent them 50 clips.
Now you know
But when we do get a bleep,
the rest of the
I'm going to play
story.
it because we're on radio stations. We have to have that.
I used to listen to Paul Harvey all the
Plus, a lot
time.
of homeschoolers, people listen to the show, so we try to
Everybody's
be as
using the
family as
right
possible.
wing
Apologize
ding
if
dong.
we're not, because we're teleprompter free. And I just sometimes tell like it is a little too much. But it just really made me think about the truth of it.
Most of these fucking losers in the media and politics have never built shit. I'm talking to all you men and women out there. You built a company. You've done more than most of your politicians. Pretty much all of your politicians that you're in your local district. You've done more than anybody in the media. You control the real, the physical. They control the non-physical, the bullshit. The narrative, the fucking narrative. Can you drive a narrative? Can you eat a narrative? Can a narrative fucking take your head off from 700 yards away? They control something that's invisible and doesn't exist, like most of their fucking world.
Weirdest
You
arguments
control all
ever.
of the tangible shit. You fix
you
their
don't.
cars. You build their roads. You erect their skyscrapers.
I was kind of shocked that this just started playing because I
You
seemed
took
to be
the
in the
wrong
middle of a
hit
thought
from
when it
Fight
started
Club
playing.
way too
Yeah,
hard,
it was weird.
And it was the unbleeped version.
Fucking hell.
You fuckity fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know what Fight
so
Club
this is like
is.
a 3-minute
I'm
rant
dumb.
that someone posted last September.
I thought it was a meme.
I mean, it's 3 minutes. You could say everything's a meme now.
Fair enough.
It's put out by a meme team.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah.
I
Fair
don't know.
enough.
It's
Yeah.
a 3-minute video
That's
of
fine.
someone ranting while they're like put pictures of politicians over it
Sure.
and stuff.
With the arms of the angels or whatever
Sure.
music. Yep.
But yeah, it's from September, so it's been out for a little while. Sure. And I guess Alex saw it this morning and decided, you're gonna fucking cover this fucking thing.
Do you mean September of next year?
Last year.
Last year. So it's
2023.
been around for quite some
It's
time.
not from the future.
Not from the future.
No.
Okay.
So this is put together by a group called the Dilly Meme Team, which I guess is run by a guy named Brendan Dilly, who appears to be a right-wing dipshit who posts stuff from like Andrew Tate, Cat Turd, and various other Trump sycophant
Great
Twitter
guy.
accounts.
Great guy.
Who I don't give a shit. But also, it's interesting that Alex seems to think that swearing is populist. That was the thing that I most took away from that.
Yeah. I mean, in a certain way, I kind of get more
Alright.
like he is making the point that swearing is something of the common man's
That's a
language.
hot
You know,
shot
like,
right
if
there.
you're going to separate
Heck
the
yeah.
media from everybody, it's a great way of just being like, in their world, you can't swear.
Sure,
Front
but I don't know if I
fender
can make
looking
that to
back.
populist.
Well, I mean, obviously not.
It's
Ah,
superficial.
damn.
It is
That's
incredibly
fucking cool,
superficial.
man.
So Alex remembers that he was talking about George Bush being surprised by scanners, and so he decides.
Oh, not the movie.
no,
Scanner.
Well, I'm sure he was surprised by that too.
That guy's head
But
exploded.
grocery stores.
Yes.
And so he's like, I'm going to play that clip because I've mentioned it, and then he accidentally plays a clip of someone explaining the misinformation.
God.
Let's go ahead and roll the clip of the George Herbert Walker Bush. Decades after grocery store scanners coming out, not knowing what it is. Again, he's not been to a
Birds.
grocery store in decades because he's an elitist. He doesn't do things like that.
Keep right, and then
That
exit
famous
right.
campaign stop where Bush Sr. was discovering, if you will, the wonders of the supermarket scanner. He'd never
Exit
seen
right.
one before.
And I know that's
Well,
a
get
short
ready
clip.
to
I saw
turn
you guys
left.
B-rolling a longer one and that better quality. Can we pull that up, please? Because I saw you previewing a nicer, longer clip there. I'd like to see that
Turn
one,
left.
please. It is.
He marveled at new technology that could read a shredded barcode. The New York Times said he didn't know how an ordinary checkout counter worked.
The story stuck because it fed in with what was being argued by his opponents, both on the
I wonder why they didn't play this clip,
that
Alex.
Bush had lost
Go
touch
straight
with the
on.
American people.
That's right.
Look at the spin in that video.
Oh my God.
Oh, I get why this was just
That's-
supposed to be B-roll.
All right,
Shit.
all right, 1984. There we go. Now we're there. You can use that reference accurately.
Guy's a
Turn
fucking
right.
idiot.
What an asshole.
So, Alex wants to take calls on this episode. And I would say that he has a pretty heady and ambitious topic that he wants to cover.
Okay.
So we're going to give the toll-free number out to talk about all these big issues and more, and where this is going as a society
Is that like a coffee
and a
cup
civilization.
with
But by the very nature of this entertainment-laden, drugged-up population, not just here but around the world now, we have to be honest and say the industrial world has a lot of conveniences and a lot of neat things about it. But in general,
Bye.
it destroys anything
Keep
it
right,
touches.
and then turn right.
And we
What?
have to ask, can civilization even be saved? Can society
right.
be turned around? Well, we have to, or our children have no future. But isn't that why the left doesn't even have children?
Fine.
Because they've given
We're
up on the
here.
future.
You took your
They
damn
projected
time.
that idea onto us. But we have a really good chance of turning this around or surviving what's coming.
All right, let's do it.
Can civilization be turned around? Can we turn this
Civilization.
around? Can it be survived? Could it be turned around?
Survive.
That's another big question I'll pose to callers if you'd like to. Comment on it.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to take calls on whether we should return to the pre-industrial revolution times.
That would be a coup if there ever was one.
Is society worth saving?
Listen,
Civilization is inherently wrong.
we can't be dropping coal into the Thames anymore. We have to stop.
It's interesting. He doesn't really that's not a topic that gets fully
I mean,
explored.
very strange, yeah.
I think it's beyond the capability of this show to have that kind of a discussion, whether civilization was a mistake.
I mean, there's absolutely no way that he can have the position that pre-industrialized society was better than post-industrial. He can't have it.
Nah.
He can't.
No. But, you know what position he can have?
What?
Biden is a walk-in.
Okay, well, that one I
Maybe.
think we all have.
Body doubles.
Yes. All right.
I've seen the photos and the videos of the different Joe Biden, and we'll pull up some of the side-by-side photos of just Biden in the last few years, his face.
Ooh, I
And
kinda
the weird
miss
chin
the
looks like it's rubber.
angle.
Now it moves around. Like, pull up Biden's weird rubber chin where he's on Air Force One, and it's like... I don't like to go with these conspiracy theories that, the Beatles are, the John Lennon's still alive, or Elvis
Sure.
is still alive,
Sure.
or, that I'm Bill Hicks. I mean, there's definitely schizophrenics online that think all that, okay? But with this and that body double, in fact, I forgot to tell the crew, about a year ago, a body double got caught sneaking out the back of the White House to get in a car, and it was that guy. And I forgot to find the clip or send it to you. Type body double caught leaving White House. And it's literally that guy, that face, that fake smile. He's taller than Biden. And presidents have had body doubles for over 100 years. Saddam Hussein had a bunch. So pull all that up, guys. Saddam Hussein's body doubles.
Oh, yeah. That'll prove it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Saddam had body doubles. That proves that there's fake Bidens.
I
Sold.
don't care
Nope.
if there are body double. I don't care, right? Like, that doesn't matter. I care if he's a walk-in. I care if he's plumping.
Hey,
I
we've
care.
always been plumping.
See, this is what I'm saying. I
Always
care
gotta
about
be
these
plumping.
things, but if there's a body double, I mean, he's got 6 months left. Let him have a body double. I don't care.
I think to whatever extent there are body doubles for like the protection and safety of public figures.
Sure.
I don't know, but I know that what he's talking about is bullshit.
Yeah. It's not Saddam Hussein's body double.
No, and there's a video of Biden, and because of the angle of it, he looks a lot taller than usual.
Sure.
And so people are like, "This is a fucking fake Biden." And Alex, you can even hear in his voice like this. I don't get into the stuff like the Beatles, all this. There's an embarrassment that he has that he's doing this, and he's like, "I'll swim in these waters for a little bit of attention." I just imagine. All right.
Yeah.
I'm pulling off a scam.
Okay.
I'm the globalist.
All right.
I have this great fake Biden. Problem? He's too tall. If I'm in that situation, I don't run with it.
Sure.
It's too obvious. This guy's a foot taller.
Sure, there is that challenge.
This is fucking stupid.
There's absolutely no reason to go with. I mean, you would assume that he's not the only person that applied, right?
Yeah.
Or was it now? What if it's a dude? What if it's a globalist buddy? What if it's just a globalist buddy who needed a gig and looks enough like Biden to be like, well,
if I'm this evil organization,
sure.
And there's so much on the line.
Right.
World control.
Right.
All the riches of all the world's nations.
Naturally.
The devil. All of the
he factors in.
He's a rough boss to please.
Yeah.
So, like, if I have all of these stakes, I'm not going to be like fucking good enough, this obvious fake.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be like, I expect to be fired for this.
There's a lot of nonchalance that seems unearned from the globalists.
Yeah. A lot of good enough. And I'm like, no. I think that you would just have like a person who's a bunch taller or whatever.
Man. Also, that's just lazy. That's lazy.
Right.
Yeah. That's just lazy. Do something more interesting and more fun. You've got infinite power and the devil, and you're just gonna hire a body double like a fucking stunt man for Tom Cruise? Let it go. You know?
I feel like this is not a is it cake situation.
Ooh,
you know, like where you're looking from a distance and it could be cake or it could be not. It's Biden or maybe not.
So fucking much. I hate it. I hate them. I hate that show, and I hate the mole. I hate any show that is essentially, is that the guy or not? That's it. I hate it.
I haven't seen The Mole in a long time.
Yeah,
but we're kind of enjoying it.
No, my wife watches it. And do you know what the problem I have is every conversation is like, does this make you more or less likely to be the mole?
Everybody won't stop talking about The Mole.
It's the mole.
Right.
That's the show.
Yeah. So Alex, he wants to take calls on whether or not civilization can be saved.
Sure.
But he also wants to embarrassingly get into Biden body double conspiracies.
That'll happen.
And then he starts talking about how Southern food isn't black. It's not.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like black cuisine.
Oh God.
And so then he gets hungry. He spends a
Oh, my
long
God.
time talking about Southern foods and how like Bill Clinton, he wasn't racist for serving black leaders chicken. It's
So the concept of slaves bringing seeds, foods from Africa to the United States as a way of staying in touch with their roots is not inherently.
No, it's just Southern.
It's just Southern. Okay.
Now on collard greens. Will you guys go to Hoover's? And seriously, that is a soul food place, actually, But it's the same thing as Southern cooking. It's the
here
same
we
damn
go.
thing.
Make sure
I want to
you
be
put your
clear. This is
seatbelt on
maybe
now.
2 or 3 minutes into him rambling about food and race.
Sure.
All right, I've just spent time on Southern cooking, and now my stomach is growling. But seriously, I challenge anybody in the North, come to Austin, go to a place that's known for good chicken fried steak, and get a chicken fried steak, and tell me you're not hooked.
Chicken fried steak.
Just tell me you're not.
Come eat some garbage that'll kill you
Better
in
than a
10
fried
years.
piece of chicken is a fried piece of red meat. All right, now I'm actually drooling. Of course, fried pork chops are pretty damn good too. But now I'm a beef guy. And again, you don't take a regular steak and fry things. They take a piece of hammered steak, thin steak. It's kind of like a schnitzel. Like the Germans have pork schnitzel,
exactly
chicken
like a
schnitzel mainly. Okay, now I'm really starting to get hungry.
Jesus, this guy is
I'm gonna
such
stop
a
now.
fucking...
Now the show has turned into a food program. It would be much more happy show. Let's have a cooking show. And I will cook you chicken fried steak, collard greens, mashed potatoes,
That just looks
and,
being a stereotype.
sweet potatoes. I guess in the North you call them yams. But anyways,
Shit.
let's I will say
Time
this.
to hit
though.
the road.
I've
Don't you
gone
get
and
no
sold-
crumbs on my
sold
back
kitchens
seat.
in like New York and places, thinking, "Oh, I want to eat some Southern food," and it's not as good. Now the black Southern cooking places in Texas are the best you're going to get. But the black people up north, the places I've gone, I've been to a lot of them. They must have just picked up the menu and thought it was cool because they ain't cooking it. And then you get into chitlins.
And then you get into
And
chitlins.
I'm not really a fan of
And
it.
then you get into chitlins.
I've eaten pickled pig's feet. Yes, I have. And then it's not that good. All right, so not everything down here in the South is good. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Turn
slavery and racism.
Now that we're into redneck land, play the 1 minute promo on the Good Old Boys. I need to reset my brain. I'm going to write your calls, and I apologize. All this World War III talk's got me like thinking about fishing and hunting and frying chickens.
So we're
Here it
going
is.
to trigger.
Just a good old
Keep
boy.
left and then turn left.
So there's a meme that Alex is playing of
Turn left.
The Dukes of Hazzard, but it's J.D. Vance and Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm
like
fine.
I think that the sort of cultural legacies of cuisine are something that I'm not an expert in by any means, but it's something that's very interesting in terms of the ways that you're talking about people who were brought over here enslaved and brought a lot of tradition with them.
Yep.
There's a lot of Caribbean influence. There's a lot of native ingredients and culinary tradition that all goes into what you call Southern cooking.
Sure.
And so it's very interesting and very complicated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anytime you deal with the history of food, you're also dealing, in America especially, you're also dealing with the history of when and where they were oppressed.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're talking about any kind of Chinese food in the United States, It is not Chinese food. It is what people who were brought over here,
Go straight on.
borderline enslaved and excluded from any jobs, were able to make out of the ingredients that were already here.
Yeah, there's a conversation that culture is having through food. And that is something that is really interesting. And I think that Alex is just sort of like, I don't want to think about any of that. I just am mad.
Oh man, all the soul food in Austin is made by black people. And anyways, now that we're in redneck country and the only people that matter are white, let's go with.
It does feel like that's all he just wants to think like, no, this is white. This is white stuff.
Yep.
But I do think that beyond that,
which made least.
Yeah, absolutely. I watched the show.
In the same way with the painting show, I love
the painting show.
In these contexts.
Come on, Alex.
I would love to see a Great British Bake Off type thing, but it's in losing his fucking mind at a tart.
Yeah,
like just so mad.
That would be great.
Yeah. A chicken fried steak would be perfect because you have to beat the shit out of it in order to flatten it.
Yep.
So it would be perfect. And he could talk about how God spoke to him through one in his younger years.
It would be an excellent opportunity to really get into the idea of Tex-Mex food and then be like, listen, I understand that Texas was stolen from Mexico, thereby making all Tex, in fact, Mex. But let's talk it through. Let's figure this out.
Let's talk tortilla.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I also like at the end of that clip the revelation that, or the reminder that people are on hold while he is just rambling about food.
Hey, listen.
I really gotta call it.
Try one of those chicken fried steaks.
That'd be awesome.
Tell me you'll go back.
You're gonna have a vision. So in this next clip, Alex uses about 100 words or so that all say "don't be violent," but when put together, they're very clearly telling you to be violent.
Interesting.
I would be a liar if I didn't say we're already in the house of war. They've done plenty for us to get violent. The problem is they're so sophisticated, they'll spin it. And we're winning politically. We don't want to do it, but they already tried to kill Trump because they're desperate. They've gone to violence.
Politically.
They want to go to violence. But what you're saying is true, and I'll come back to you. They're probably gonna push us into it. So once we're in it, like you're not looking for a fight, but somebody punches you in the nose. Well, all right, well you wanted a fight, you got one. So yeah, and that's been hard for me to be shifting from trying to stop this to now spending part of my time thinking just about my defense. And the best defense is an offense. We'll be right back.
Oh, wow.
Excuse me.
So the best.
Sorry.
So I think he's advocating for offensive violence.
Well, we are in the House of War already.
Right.
House of War.
Therefore, we are already at war, meaning the rules of engagement include violence by necessity. Otherwise, it's not war.
And the best defense.
Now,
it's good offense.
That said, we're clearly morally superior on account of how we steal things from people.
This is crazy right now.
We're
Sorry,
being so
buddy.
nice, not committing violence as it stands. Now, we got to be defending ourselves, and the only way, as we all know, to defend ourselves is to wipe out our enemies.
Our defense
entirely.
is a good offense.
Yeah. Let's just, you don't have to build a wall. If you've killed everybody you want to get out.
This is Alex advocating violence, offensive violence, in a way that is so cowardly and so just dancing around it so he can have plausible deniability. It's very sad.
I find it so interesting because to me it suggests either people in the legal profession don't know how to read at all, or they're complicit in this. Like there's a certain amount of like, hey, listen, as long as you use enough words, we don't care. You know, as long as you don't say, hey, go kill people, then you can say, hey, go kill people.
I think,
but you need like 100 words.
Well, I think that is because of the ways in which legislating the kind of control that you're asking for would impinge on a lot of other people's free speech.
I'm not legislating for the kind of thing I'm asking for. I'm just saying what words mean.
Alex can get away with this in the same way that you can get away with all kinds of crazy shit talk.
Sure.
This is not illegal, is the thing. It's just fucked up.
I mean, I don't know. Is it not illegal to say go kill people?
No.
Okay, then
It's
that's
not.
fine.
Like
Okay.
the Brandenburg versus Ohio and
Sure.
those Supreme Court decisions have pretty clearly delineated that, the legal
Two views.
impact comes in when
have
there's
two views.
specifics and shit
Sure.
like that.
Okay. Well, he's specifically telling you to go kill every
But not-
Democrat
not
on
a-
the fucking planet.
Well, but he's not being specific. He's being vague enough that it's legal. But the issue is, I think that he just wants something to happen that he can call a false flag.
Sure.
That's just the tone that I get from
Sure.
the way he's talking.
Sure, but I mean, you can never say that or be held accountable for that, It's so weird.
It is very weird.
It is just so weird. I don't
was there
think
like
people
a
know how to
viewer?
read.
That's
what I
awesome.
believe.
So,
In my heart.
That's so
Alex
cool.
went out to break with that.
I don't know who it
and then
is,
he
but
came
that's
back
awesome.
with this, and my ears
Thank you
perked
for
up.
viewing.
Well, I know what needs to
One
be
for a little
done.
ride through Colorado.
And I was sitting here during the last 2-minute break
Cheers
thinking
to
about
you.
how we stopped this, and I
You were
know
friend.
the answer.
I keep left there.
And I'm going to talk about it
Oh no, vehicle inspection.
a little bit later in the hour. I'm going to write a note. Want to do it.
Oh shit, look at this
That's why they want
line.
me off the air.
Oh, we need brakes.
You know I've got their number. They know our
Brakes.
callers have their
Never
number.
mind. I'll find us a
Amazing
do
callers.
well.
So I was pretty excited about this. Alex knows what needs to be done, and he's going to tell us.
Yeah.
And so, because he had just said this thing about all the violence and stuff, I kind of thought like, well, it's going to be something that continues that line of thought. It is not.
Okay.
I'm going to jump ahead to where
play a
Alex
game
discusses
where I
what
wait
the
in line
plan
in
The
the
is.
plan
truck.
is okay.
And it's the Trump needs to start a podcast.
To sit on
And
it.
so I told Trump, don't do outdoor rallies. He's being a bunker. The deep state, their only move is to kill you. It's guaranteed. They're coming for you. Blow your airplane up, you name it. But you can't just hide. He's got to go on the air with emergency reports and guests, like a podcast with Tucker Carlson and Carson and everybody else constantly on air there. You'll have hundreds of millions of views a day, billions. Elon Musk will repost it, everything. I bet Trump starts doing that. It'll build up to like 1 billion viewers a day. He'll have the whole world watching.
God. So yeah, what Trump needs to do is start an info wars. He should just make his own media empire, I guess.
Woof.
This is the answer.
It does feel like Alex's answer for most things is do what I do.
Hold on. Literally, in this
I keep
next
left
clip,
there.
Alex says, essentially, you need to do what I
You
did.
need to do what I do.
But Trump has a better people around him. The wimps have been kicked out, but still, he's got other folks that are smart but are still in the system and aren't that sophisticated. And by that, I mean they're not that jaded. They don't know what they're really up against. They're naive still. They're not bad, they're naive. He's got basically nothing but good people around him now. But they
Cruise
I mean,
control.
privately, I talked to top Trump people. They all
And
know
they're
this. Yeah, we briefed the president on that. We agree. I hope he listens, and now he is. He has to just come right out with fireside chats and not say stuff like, I took a bullet for democracy. Little cutesy lines. He's got to level his
What's that
political
cutesy?
guns right at the enemy and say, if anything happens to me, this is who's responsible. And let them scream. Let them yell. Let them say it's irresponsible. Everybody wants the truth. They know the truth. Guaranteed Trump gets even more successful and powerful. You've got to do what I've done.
You gotta do what I've
Oh my
done.
God.
Yeah. Now, here's what's interesting about this.
Be held
Alex is saying
accountable
that Trump
for
needs to come out and say, if anything
$1.5
happens to me, here's what you need to do.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of this episode, Alex
Be
is
like
complaining
me.
about Netanyahu saying, if,
Be a
if
giant
Iran assassinates
scumbag.
Trump, you got to blow up Iran. But that's what Trump said.
Yeah.
So Trump already did do the thing that Alex is saying, but he was complaining about it earlier because he was saying that Netanyahu said.
Yep. Yep.
I do think that I get what Alex is saying.
Sure.
And that is that there's a lot of money to be made in bullshit. And
Yeah.
Trump is very good at capturing attention, and he's very good at this. Not quite so good at being the president.
Yeah.
And so he should just do
I
that.
hate these
He
white
should be like
tar
me.
roads.
You know, I think what's funny about that is
Can't
that I
see
understand why
lane
Alex would think
separators
that's a
at
good
all.
idea, and I understand why people in general would think that's a good idea because Trump is the media. You know, Trump is media created, kind of thing. But that's where people mistake like the show part of it. Like he couldn't sustain your attention because he's not interesting.
Yeah.
No.
It is
I told
only
you,
because
I was
he's-
watching the RNC and I checked out of his speech.
Everybody did. People leave early.
Yeah.
It is because he's packaged in a digestible way by the media, who are very good at it.
Yeah.
They're so good at it that they can turn him into somebody that you would think is interesting, despite the fact that he's incredibly boring.
Even if it is the interesting in the inverse direction of like what you want to exist.
Yep.
You know, it's interesting as a like nefarious. Not to say that he isn't nefarious, but like
I mean, that's the irony of the meme about narrative being unable to hurt you. Is like, essentially, they have manufactured all of this out of narrative.
Not keep
That
left
is
there.
far more powerful than taking somebody's head off at 700 feet or whatever.
Still can't eat
you
it.
think is great. Yeah.
Still can't eat it.
Yes, you can. That's why you're fixing my car. Is because I can eat it. I can eat the narrative.
No idea what
You
that
need
means.
money. That's the narrative. You know what I'm?
So
Never mind.
here's my idea.
Yeah.
I almost felt
Just
you
go
were going
ahead,
there, Jordan.
give the 2024 election to Kamala Harris, right?
Is that how we do it?
Trump gracefully bows out.
Okay.
Takes his rightful position as the co-host of Alex's cooking show.
All right.
I'm on board.
Actually, would
Sold.
sustain my attention.
Sold.
Great deal. Watching the two of them just try and
keep
figure
left
out
there.
any recipe would be absolutely captivating.
What is this? What is this?
I don't.
Cumin?
And
Cumin?
they, like, you have to.
What
They're
is
locked
this,
inside
Cumin?
from the outside. You think there is no
It is a
escape.
satellite of love situation.
Yeah, 100%. Yes. We'll send you a recipe every day.
Oh my God! If Alex could create his own robot friends.
Oh God.
Keep
I
right.
mean,
Kind of. Maybe he has.
if
Chase,
I know.
Rob Dew.
I know.
Chase
If we
Geyser.
captured him and neutralized his threat to the rest of society, I think he's a great form of entertainment.
This really
Not keep
sucks.
left there.
Especially in those like kind of light areas.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a painting show, like
Absolutely.
a cooking show.
Yeah.
His anger would be very funny.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Not so funny here.
No.
So Alex has decided that he's on a suicide mission, of course.
Sure.
Many years ago, he discussed that drunkenly with Patrick Bet-David at that hotel room.
Life's very fragile.
Yeah. But he's had a suicide mission that he's on still,
Sure.
I guess. And there's a 50-50 chance of
Patrick
survival.
Bet-
Is that
Well,
what
then it's
suicide
not a
missions
suicide.
are?
It is not a suicide mission. It's just a very difficult mission.
No, suicide missions are 50-50.
It is a dangerous mission.
Nope.
Not a suicide mission.
50-50. So then he talks about how he went to Hawaii and met
Okay.
with the chief.
Okay.
I've had to go through that process now of when you go on a suicide mission, which means you've got a 50-50 chance of returning. And I've had to mentally
That's
How
not
do
suicide.
words work?
family, who I am, make the decision. I can instantly sell out like that. Cannot do it. Physically cannot. Spiritually, it's impossible. But still, there's a weird shadow of guilt for putting my family in this position. But then I realized that's short term. They're in a much worse position if I don't make the right decision now. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm
No.
doing the right thing. The only choice I've got is full commitment against these people. And then I feel sorry for their minions who are so disconnected from the real world. When we defeat these people, it won't be a victory. It'll just be survival. You understand?
No.
I have no pleasure in what's going to happen to these people. I mean, they're all either going to surrender and be put into purgatory politically, or
Now keep left
what?
there.
they will be destroyed. And the level of hatred for the globalists everywhere is so intense. I mean, I've been to Kauai like 6 times in my life. And the last 2 times I was there, it's so beautiful. I met with the head, the real, they don't have it officially anymore, but the head chief of the Lions, all the people.
This guy's
All the
owes
people.
people in Connecticut
All the people.
$1.5
Everywhere, no matter where I
billion
went. The
dollars for the
Lions,
bee,
but also the
and he hasn't
white
paid a
people and everyone else. It's
dime.
like,
and somehow
first
not
thing
in
we're doing is all
jail
those guys
for it.
going to Zuckerberg's house. And I'm like, I'm not even joining in on it. And I'm sitting there
Scumbag.
drinking beer on the beach, on the edge of the mountains, in the Royal Hawaiian Preserve, and they're just literally sitting there talking about Zuckerberg
I can't believe this guy
and
is
biding their
allowed
time.
to exist.
And that's everywhere.
Yeah, that does make me feel really sad for the minions who are disconnected from reality. You know, Really just makes you sad for them.
Okay. All right. So we're morally inferior to these people. They're great.
To the Patriots.
Yeah.
Right.
We're globalists. We're evil.
right.
We're in league with the
And
devil.
then
Certainly by
is it
Alex's
right?
definition.
Right. But according to Alex, should we voluntarily surrender, we will still be treated
Is it
like shit
right?
as second-class citizens.
Now that's interesting because what you're getting around to is what he described as
Get ready to
purgatory
turn right.
politically.
What an interesting, idiotic conglomeration of words.
I wonder if that's jail.
I mean,
Is that jail?
I don't know. Whatever it could mean, it essentially means that he is 100% fine with creating an underclass of people who were not sufficiently loyal
To Trump. Yeah.
Which, I don't know if he's ever heard of anybody who's ever done
Turn
that before.
right.
That two things happen. One, everybody winds up going in there that doesn't, because it turns out you can never be loyal enough.
And it's not very purgatory-like.
No. And two, sooner or later people go, well, fuck this, and start problems, and we begin all over again.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
I think this is stupid.
I think it's dumb.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah.
The two
Oh, well.
concepts that are in there, other than the Alex is friends with the chief
Can you
of
believe
Hawaii
this
shit,
idiot
which is
and
fun.
that the guy running for
The
president
other two-
listens to him
The
constantly?
other two concepts in there are the 50-50 suicide
Keep
mission.
left.
God damn it.
And then
political
turn left.
purgatory.
I hate that. I hate two things. One, I hate that 50-50 suicide mission makes me
Turn
laugh
left.
uncontrollably. It is so stupid and so confidently said. Awful. And two, political purgatory is, of all the euphemisms I've ever heard, one that makes me genuinely hate language.
Well, I think that Alex, like, whenever he says politically, he means
Violently.
I'm thinking about murder.
Yeah,
and so I
yeah.
have to use this word as a not murder.
Exactly.
So I think
That's a
that,
not
like,
murder.
it's a gruesome murder for the
Right.
people who don't surrender.
Right.
And then it's sort of like we'll give you a
It's
gentle
just an
death.
it's an execution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think he's.
So I'm interested in why he wants him to win.
Go straight on.
So
That's right.
The minions of the globalists, not the minions who are at the opening ceremony of the Olympics.
Yeah.
The minions of the globalists, they're so disconnected from reality. Unlike Alex, who tells this very real story.
Okay.
We were getting on at the end of the plane in San Francisco, about to fly back from Cover Bohemian Grove. And I hadn't been, literally every few months, maybe one person says something mean to me. I've gone about a year without it. Now it's happened 3 or 4 times. I think the HBO documentary's done that. But I'll shake like 500 hands before I get attacked once, maybe 1,000. So I'd probably shook, let's not exaggerate, 100 hands in the airport. And my wife had to go to the bathroom, so we're at the very end of the plane with like 5 or 6 other people about to get on. And I've got my daughter with me. Rob Dew was there.
Rob Dew.
I had my camera out, obviously. I was expecting it. And a guy in a UT shirt walks over, probably a 60-year-old white guy. He goes, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself, what you did to those children. You're a horrible person.
Should be ashamed
Are
of
you
yourself."
ashamed of yourself?" And I
Should
said, "I
be.
love you." He started calling me names and stuff, and I said,
Keep
"I
right.
love the fact that people
And then turn
that
right.
love evil hate me."
Sure.
And I said, "Just like the Nazis, you don't realize you're the bad guy."
Turn right.
And he was like, and by then the ticket clerks, 'cause it was
Alex
like,
Jones
behind
calling
house
the
up
kids that
thing,
died in
giving them
Sandy
the
Hook.
ticket. And he's leaning over.
Other people say you should be ashamed.
And I
He's
say,
like, "You're the bad
"Man,
guy."
this guy's harassing me.
All I did
She
was
just
say
ignores
that
it,
the
starts
kids that
laughing
died
at
in
me.
Sandy Hook weren't real, and
And
that their
then
parents were
the
just
next
lying
3
about
people.
it.
It was like a black lady.
You're the bad
Don't.
guy, not me.
Whatever you're about to do.
There was a black guy, a white lady, and a white guy.
Go straight on
They
and
all
then
go,
keep
"We
left.
love you. We think you're amazing. We love you." And they all jump on me and literally hug me
Keep
in
left.
front
No
of
one
this
is
guy.
And then
jumping.
turn
No, they
left.
were listeners. Flying back to Austin. Direct flight, San Francisco.
Turn left.
That had been delayed some. And in seconds, because my wife was there by then.
It's
I was
all
waiting
over
for her.
now.
I ignored the guy after that, but I saw him, and he was like, he had tears in his eyes. He's like, oh. Because see, he's the establishment. He's got the universities, the media, BlackRock, MSNBC, CNN behind him. He's telling me, be ashamed. You're a loser. You're
No,
bad.
just think
You're
about
a
what you
failure.
did, you disgusting monster.
And
Jesus.
instantly I'm
Pay
hugged by
those
3 people.
families.
He
You owe them so
literally,
much
we
money.
think you're amazing. We love you, Alex. I'm like, hey, I think you're amazing. We start hugging and stuff. he just kind of scurried off.
Yeah, he starts crying, and then we all fucked at the airport.
Yep. You know, it makes me. Let me throw. Okay, all right. I'm starting to think.
I love that he started crying.
I don't even know. I don't even know how to describe this.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No. I just feel like, you know the story of Elijah, right? What if Elisha and Elijah are walking, right? And Elijah trips and just falls into the ravine. And Elijah's like, well, this is not how the prophet gets to die. That's just not cool. Just broken ass neck. So then he starts talking, starts telling the story. All of a sudden, people are around, and then he's flown up into heaven on chariots of fire. I feel like Elisha and Alex have a lot in common right now.
Especially at the airport.
Yeah.
I mean, what I wouldn't give to like have half of the experiences he has at the airport. There were all those people who started like crying and cheering that like everyone loved him because they got to experience it firsthand. You remember that? That was pretty recently.
Yep, I remember that one.
And now this time, this hater, Alex gets dogpiled by people who love him, and then this hater goes away with tears in his eyes. These are dramatic moments.
They really are. And what I find so fascinating about them is that they are all something. They all have something you can take with you.
Yeah.
And that is how great Alex is.
Yeah. They all have an underlying theme that is consistent. And they're not overwritten. Like, the characters are believable.
You know, I think the Minions being yellow and not speaking English is more believable.
So, Alex gets back into the body double conspiracy.
Oh, shit!
And I really do think that he's a little bit ashamed to be doing this.
Okay. I said I would do this, and I this is red meat. I could do stuff like this all day.
Oh, it's crooked as fuck.
Most of it's
I could leave it, but
you know, Jim Morris is not alive.
That's not how I dropped off.
Elvis isn't alive. I'm not Bill Hicks.
Shit.
But Biden, they got body doubles. I mean, man, that's going on. I mean, this new Biden is like 6'8" inches taller and doesn't even look like
too tall.
I mean, that's the coup. Like, it looks like the real Biden's getting off Air Force One, and they go, "Why'd you resign?" He goes, "Laughs at him. I didn't do that." You know, so I'm like, something's going on.
Sure, I hit a car.
How they're lying
it's
about
fine.
everything. Of course, they're lying about this. So I'll do a report on that.
So yeah, Alex, he talks about this, but he's also like, but he's not. Biden's not running in 2024, so who cares?
Yeah.
And I guess he's trying to imply maybe that Biden's been dead for a while. I don't know. It's just like
I don't get this. I just don't get it.
Well, I think that.
Who cares?
Yeah.
He's not running for president anymore.
No, but people were posting a lot of memes about this, and so Alex wants to get in on it, and he feels like it's beneath him, even though it's not.
It is. Well,
no.
It's not. But in his conception of himself, yes, it is.
Yeah, the guy who gets mobbed at the airport and a hater cries.
Yeah.
They're above talking about dumb body double theories.
Absolutely.
And so Alex, I think
God tells him what time it is early in the morning.
Right. He's projecting a little bit of like shame, and that's good because he should be ashamed.
He should be.
These theories are stupid.
Body doubles is dumb.
So I told you we had one clip. That would be our last clip.
Yes.
Oh, last clip
involves Alex saying something I don't think I've ever heard him say before.
Yes.
And that is this clip. The scholar says that he's going to give Alex he only has $200 in the bank, and he's going to give Alex some money. And here's what happens.
Don't feel bad because you don't have a bunch of extra money. You've got a connection to God, the truth. That is what's not just most valuable. That's everything. And then from that relationship, everything else comes.
Absolutely, and I want to say thank you for that. I really appreciate that. You know, I'm leaning more on God than ever. I also wanted to say to all the other listeners out there, everybody who called in, you know, God bless all you guys. Go to Alex Jones' website, Infowars.com. Please donate. I have like $200 in the bank. As soon as I get off the phone, I'm going to donate some fucking money because there's nothing else to do. I mean, we got to keep these people online, on air, that are telling the fucking truth. Otherwise, we cannot fight against.
Well, brother, listen, I appreciate your call. We got to go to break. If you only got $200 in the bank, don't donate. Please don't. It's all these middle class and rich people that sit on the fence that need these products anyways. They should go do it. Do not do that, sir. Well, I mean, Nitric Boost is amazing. X2 is great for your kids.
Fucking hell!
Products, but don't do that.
God damn
it! Share the articles. Share the videos. Pray for the show. Pray for the broadcast. No money's needed. Just pray for the show. Just say a prayer. for me and my family. Believe me, I need it. And pray for the broadcast, and then share the links. Do not buy anything, okay? Don't. I don't want people that are in a bad situation to give their, whatever. But everybody else on the fence, you're going to lose everything because you sat on your ass.
Yeah, so that's weird. I don't think I've ever heard that. Alex telling people not to buy stuff.
Yeah, that is weird. Well, I mean, but at the same time, he still has the, sure, these are all great products.
He can't help it.
He can't not.
He can't help but double back a little bit.
Well, sure.
But I do think that there was something that came through that was like, if you have $200 in the bank, take care of yourself.
I mean, maybe
he doesn't usually talk like that.
Maybe he has greater perspective because the essential core of scamming is taking people who have far more hope than they do money and taking their money by using their hope.
Yeah. True.
So, generally speaking, scammers aren't like, hey, you don't have enough money for me to steal from you. They're like, you have the right amount of money, any.
I think that I just think Alex is almost like, $200 isn't going to make a difference. Even if you gave me everything that you have.
Yeah.
You're not going to
definitely
make a difference.
There's definitely that. There is a certain amount of, it's a lot easier to be like, don't give me money whenever you're like, it's a drop in the $1.5 billion bucket.
Right.
Yeah.
I need a billionaire to come around and give me $1 million.
Yep.
But it's just, I don't know what to make of it, really, outside of it being a decent moment.
Sure.
And I talk a lot about how much Alex is just like this crass fucking selling everything.
Sure.
And the scams that he's clearly running
Tons
in
of
terms
scams.
of evading the bankruptcies and stuff like that.
Yep.
I just think it would have been unfair if we have this moment and I don't point it out.
It is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It is very interesting. I mean, I don't want to read too deep into it or at all.
No, but
I will say, I mean, that does suggest that change is possible in some small way.
No, I think it's just a moment. I think it is just a moment, and
Sure.
maybe there's a little bit of shame that Alex is feeling on this episode because of the
Because of the body
ambivalence
double.
about the body double stories. He's kind of like, I'm not going to do this stuff. I want to give you my money. Take care of yourself. Don't worry about it.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Uh-huh.
All right, if he was cooking, right? If he was feeling like I'm fucking killing this show, do you think he's still gonna be like, don't give me your money?
I think it would have gone differently.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think
can't
so.
say.
I don't know. I've heard this exact exchange happen and him not say don't buy anything.
Oh, totally.
He's been like, thanks for supporting the InfoWar,
It
brother.
means more that you support
The widow's might.
Exactly.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
Yeah, 100% that.
But yeah, I don't know. It just seems like his mood. His mood is kind of a little human
Yeah.
But I don't care.
I can't imagine. Like, it doesn't. Okay. If any prosperity gospel preacher was like, hey, sir, you don't have to give me $5, I'd be like, we're still fighting. I'm never looking back.
Yeah. And generally, I think that, like, if this prosperity gospel person is saying, don't give me $5, that's to try and impress the guy who can give you 10.
Exactly.
So that kind of still feels like what he's doing with the nitric boost is really great.
The scam is the scam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this episode was really stupid. I think that the fact that he's complaining about a Trump post and saying it was from Netanyahu's speech, it really kind of set things off on a bad foot. And because so much of the show is based on that, it just feels dumb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he spends about 6 minutes talking about food. And I think he loses himself a little bit.
Somehow still being a racist. Can't even talk about food without being a racist.
And that's kind of what I would be worried about in his cooking show.
There is that.
Yeah.
Here's what's wrong with the blank. No, just cook, man.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll be back with another episode. But until then, we have a website.
Indeed we do. It's SoundCloud.com.
Yep, we'll be back. But until then, I'm Leo. I'm DZX Clark. I am the mysterious professor.
Woo, yeah, woo, yeah, woo. And now here comes the sex robots.
Andy in Kansas, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hello, Alex. I'm a first-time caller. I'm a huge fan. I love your work.
I love you.
All right. We want to expand our thing beyond Steam Friends? I kind of did. Well, I mean, we did the convoy a couple times before, but I'll leave that one open. enable optional mods. Fuck yeah. Enable traffic, yeah. Damage between players. Now if we're not gonna, if we're just Steam friends, then yeah, we can do that because I can yell at my friends. But if we're gonna open up to other ding dongs, I want someone to just go in full fucking collision. Yeah. Enable collisions while in menus. For speed limiter. No. Yeah. Oh man. I always just go with Steam friends. And then we can enable damage. Hide players? No. No, I don't want to do that. Enable collision while in menus? No. Force speed. Alright. So we made ourselves a little convoy. Alright. Menu, chat tab, in-game chat Y. In-game Kirk broadcast Q, CB radio broadcast X. Alright. Interesting. Okay, well I guess next time we drive, we'll maybe we can try and get a little convoy going. I'm not sure if any of the guys I know still play. Maybe I'll open it up and see if maybe some randos want to hop in or something. But we'll see. Well, at that point, until next time, everybody. As always, thanks for hanging out with me, your man Smiley Bill, and listen to a little knowledge fight. I'm gonna go make some dinner. So take care of yourself and take care of each other. Okay, great. Have a great night, everybody. See ya.
This is red meat. I could do stuff like this all day and have viral videos everywhere, but most of it's crap. But you know, Jim Morris is not alive. Elvis isn't alive. I'm not Bill Hicks. But Biden, they got body doubles. I mean, that's going on. I mean, this new Biden is like 6-8 inches taller and doesn't even look like
too tall.
I mean, that's the coup. Like, and it looks like the real Biden is getting off Air Force One, and they go, "Why'd you resign?" And he goes, laughs at him. I didn't.
All right, your stuff. Cool. All right, for real. Bye.